Hi, everyone. Welcome.
Not me, just startling and jumping out of my skin.
Jumped very high for that one.
Well, never mind. You were very, very easy to hear in my headphones.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Hi.
How's it going, GR Dad?
See, I'm much softer.
Yes.
It's fine. It's going well.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
The cocktail of the week is the Bahama Mama.
It's good. It's if you like pineapple. If you don't like pineapple, you might have a problem with this.
It's a very tasty, kind of classic drink. It is a lot of pineapple juice, and then it has coconut rum, dark rum. We used Key West legal rum, green coconut, and raw and unfiltered for the dark rum. And then coffee liqueur. One would typically use Kahlua, but no, we used... Okay, over there.
I'm reacting. I'm adding drama.
It sounded like you were dying.
That's how acting.
We used the Rocktown coffee liqueur made by, I don't know, Cheddar's uncle with his new family.
Yes, his dad's brother. Yes.
This is the same place that made the grapefruit vodka that we used in last week's Delish cocktail. So
that was pink. This is not pink.
It is not. It's kind of orange.
Well, the whole drink is, but I'm sure the coffee liqueur is
it's
on
brown.
The brown end of the spectrum.
I mean, honestly, the bottle's brown, so I didn't look inside, but I'm assuming that it is also brown. The coffee liqueur is brown.
Yeah, I haven't looked inside either, but it, should be.
Anyway, it's a very tasty drink. And, and it's like, it doesn't taste like coffee, but if you know that there's coffee liqueur in there, you go like, oh yeah, there's a little bit of just like richerness than just the fruity stuff.
Goes with the pineapple surprisingly well. I'm not going to start experimenting with morning coffee and pineapple, but maybe I am.
I mean, you tried the butter in the coffee once, right?
It was very disappointing.
Gross.
I did not like, and I don't know if it was cold coffee or bad butter or so. I don't know. I don't get I don't.
But
There's
you know what?
Perfectly good, acceptable things to put in coffee, and butter has not cracked my top 5.
If you guys like butter, it's okay. You can keep putting butter in your coffee.
Sure.
It's time for Administrative Corner.
Oh, I love Administrative Corner.
I actually don't really have anything.
You say this, and then we always think of something.
Well, every day this week, Ingo has been going to the P.O. box and coming home filled with glee.
And Christmas cards.
And the glee is because of all the Christmas cards.
Oh, it's like wads every day.
Yeah. So you guys are making him very happy, but I thought you'd also like to talk about, in particular, your joy of Voodsmas.
Yes. Yes. Voodsmas is just like Secret Santa, but with voodoo cards, with voodoo Christmas cards. And I love the idea of, and the cards are awesome.
We've received quite a bit of toilet paper.
Yeah. And it's just a good reminder. I mean, we love sharing voodoo stories, and you sent me some photos of Voods. Was it the toilet paper one? Which one did you just send me recently? Or just doing an epic no? Nah.
I don't know. I was showing you. I mean, I look at Vood stuff every day. I miss that guy so much.
He was just an outsized influence. That guy is he's still present. It's amazing.
Yep.
Good for. I mean, he's not just remembered. He is kind of present. This ghost Voods thing is kind of real.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's Administrative Corner. I've heard from one or two people that like their Hopper plushies that they ordered haven't made it to them. I would reach out to Makeship directly, who's like the people that you put your order with, because like we are totally uninvolved at this point. So like I could bug them for you, but they're just gonna want like your info. So if you have some delivery problem with your Hopper plushie, reach out to them. And
if you ordered it, if you didn't, then maybe reach out to us.
If you
probably have the information.
Yeah, if you got gifted one, you can reach out to me. But please send me your address when you do that, because poor Ingo ordered like 100 and some, and so we need to be able to like search yours out.
Didn't really do a spreadsheet.
No. All right, dog updates.
Yay!
I got nothing.
Not as good as Administrative Corner.
I got nothing.
This is an epic week. Then nobody is giving us, stay awake at night worries. That's good.
Nobody's doing anything. They're all fine. They've had no antics.
I gotta say,
They've had no crises.
Hopper, we've put her on slightly different arthritis medicine, right? But on the Galliprant that she used to be on, that we took her off for years, and now we're putting her back on. She's like standing up to eat.
It
which
really seems to help.
She didn't do for a month or so. And I mean, you can sort of see it in the snaps as she runs out of that elevator.
Yep.
She books it.
Yep. She's doing noticeably better.
Yeah. And I think of course, it was hard to tell because she did have that lump and it was inflamed, and that certainly was exceptionally bad.
Yeah.
But even before that, she'd been favoring that elbow, which was her only elbow, much more than she is now. I mean, whatever's happening is working.
That's great.
Maybe it's because she's a few pounds lighter. All that sort of is working, right?
Yeah.
But she seems much more active, and obviously the fact that she can go in the water definitely makes her happier.
Yep. That's good. I guess Guac has some weird little lump on his jawline, which we talked about before, like on his gum.
Now he has 2.
And now he has 2. They're like, maybe he'll just go away.
Did not go away.
So on Christmas Eve, I'm taking him to the vet because they're open for like 3 hours. They're like, do you want to come at 8:15
Saturday,
on Christmas Eve morning?
It's not just at Christmas Eve, it's a Saturday. It's not just a Saturday, it's Christmas Eve.
And 8:15 in the morning.
Yeah,
and I was like,
real
yes,
early
I will
for
be there.
you. Luckily, it's not the vet that's 3 hours away.
No, I was still in bed at 8:15 this morning.
And a good thing for it, too.
Yeah, Vink is doing fine.
Yeah,
Brody's
you're so
fine,
bored.
everything's
You're
fine.
like running with dogs from the neighborhood now. You're just picking up loosely attended dogs.
That's only theoretical at this point.
going running.
Only theoretical.
I
I
mean,
have not actually run with any other
There
dogs.
have been discussions.
Yeah.
Don't get concerned, Guac.
Ramblings? I got nothing.
Wait, what?
I got nothing. There's no Chris Christie niece news. There's no fish news. There's just everybody's like, you know what? We're just gonna lay off the shenanigans.
Nothing happens between, between Thanksgiving and New Year's.
Man, like I was ready for the lull next week, but there's a lull this week.
Well, that's just everyone's working really hard or not working at all.
All right, I do have a taste of the keys though.
Yeah, you don't have any ramblings at all.
I have nothing.
Like the Christmas spirit isn't pervading you.
I have none.
You're not.
I have no Christmas spirit.
It is a little harder down here to get into the Christmas spirit because there's kind of Christmas stuff all year within that, like guys run around in like, Santa hats occasionally, and there's a bunch of drunk people. I mean, it's kind of a small
All right,
Santa con.
Here, I'll add in a little thing.
Okay.
Ched's is up in Minnesota with his family for Christmas, and it's like 4 degrees.
It's 4 degrees Fahrenheit.
And it's like
not Celsius, Fahrenheit. Look it up. It's much colder.
full winter wonderland up there. There's feet of snow.
It's really
It's
cold.
all sparkly, and he's got a little jacket and booties.
He does.
And he loves to go outside in the freezing cold in his adorable tartan jacket and booties.
It's a plaid jacket. It's so cute.
I get updates every day.
Of course he loves it.
He's having such a good time.
Of course he loves it.
So there you go.
That continues
There's a
to be a successful, happy update.
It's so good.
He was like, there was a picture of him lying on a dog bed in front of a fireplace, which is like dog heaven right there.
In a little cabin.
I'm a little jealous.
It looks real cozy.
But I can live with it.
Yep. All right. Taste of the Keys. A number of people sent this to me because this is one of those times where Taste of the Keys made slightly national news, which is federal agents raid Florida Keys house by land in armed SUVs and by water in raft.
Boy, that's 2 of the 3 things. Did they come from the air
They
too?
maybe had like a drone. Just hanging out there.
Did they move in time too? That's the 4th dimension.
It's a house. It's a house on a canal. So it's not like it was on the open ocean and they come in like on their rubber raft.
Yeah.
It's a canal.
What'd they
so
do?
they just like put down
That's right. It's
in their black rubber
It's a no
raft.
wake zone.
Yes, it is.
No wake.
There's these great pictures of this like Zodiac,
Yeah.
armed federal law enforcement officials, all in black, big guns,
FBI,
helmets.
right? It wasn't.
Oh,
was
yeah.
that FBI, yeah.
on a Zodiac, put, up the little canal to the house.
Probably like some fishing boat had to get out of their way, or some like excursion boat with a family on it and kids and a dog. Or just like, who are you?
Here's the story by David Godhue and Jay Weaver. Heavily armed FBI agents raided a Florida Keys house Friday morning, according to neighbors. Agents dressed in body armor and carrying semi-automatic rifles came to the Mars Lane house on Geiger Key by SUVs with mounted turrets and by raft in a canal. Law enforcement said the raid was conducted to a human trafficking investigation. Several people were taken into custody, but it was not immediately clear if there were any formal arrests or charges. Neighbor took a video of the agents throwing a flashbang grenade into the home and yelling demands for those inside to exit the Lower Keys house because they had an arrest warrant. Can you picture this as like movie? It's like, get out of the house! FBI!
We have a warrant.
We are.
I don't.
It's like they were so excited.
Oh, they
to
were
do like their movie arrest.
I've been in this field office in Monroe County for 20 years, and we've never done anything.
They could. All right. What are their means of escape? Well, they could come out the front door.
Get the Zodiac.
They could go out the back door into the water.
Get the Zodiac.
We get to use the Zodiac.
And then they're like, "Oh, we can't go very fast."
All right. Then I know, because it's like in the middle of a canal. The neighbor posted multiple images and videos of agents breaching the property, arriving by
walking onto the property,
arriving by dinghy.
Okay, that's not exactly Miami Vice.
And taking
that's more Gilligan.
So we played hockey with this guy. Have we told the Mike story before? I don't even want to use his last name to protect his identity.
Think so. If we did, it was 4 years ago.
We played hockey with this guy who had been in various aspects of federal law enforcement. He was in the Secret Service during the first Bush administration, but this guy, he was like a great guy. He called me captain all the time.
He's like the best kind of uncle in any family who's done like amazing stuff, but just as soon take you fishing and like teach you to do, like a very proud, supportive uncle. But when you ask him about stuff, he's like, You don't even want to know.
We go out to beers with this guy, and he'd be just like asking us questions, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I worked on this little research project, worked on this," and then like if you talk to him long enough, you would get stories like, "Oh yeah, I used to run marathons too, Jen, but like I was like, oh, like when was the last one you ran?" He's like, "Well, in like 1987, I ran my last marathon, and I was supposed to run another one, but I broke my leg." And then you go like, "Mike, how'd you break your leg?" And he goes, "Well, at the time,"
withering cross-examination that you conducted there.
At the time, I was like working for the DEA, and we were in Miami chasing this smuggler, and he got into like one of these like fast boat cigar boats, and like we just commandeered one and took off after him. And so we're like chasing him around in the Atlantic Ocean outside Miami Beach, and then we hit the wake from a cruise ship, and our like commandeered like fast boat flew into the air, and we all flew out of the boat
flipped.
And came down.
He said, "I looked down and saw their boat underneath us."
And then when I landed, I broke my leg. It's just like...
But he doesn't lead with that. He just leads with, "Well, I used to run marathons, but I can't anymore."
Yeah, and then you gotta like poke it.
He wouldn't. I don't think he would have volunteered. I think he would have been like, "I'm cool. I don't need to do this other thing." He's in a band that sings at weddings. Like he's like
he offered to have his band sing at our wedding.
He did. We should have. I think the timing didn't work, but it would have been.
They do like epic Beatles covers and stuff.
But he also I think driving a boat is not a bad skill to have. He like drove the boat for Bush Senior's family up in Maine, or patrolled the shore. But he was, he's like does a lot of stuff.
I've talked to him about like undercover shit that he's done before. Like that guy was wild.
Didn't you go shooting with him?
Oh, he and I would go to the gun range all the time. Every time we'd go to the
Fed's gun range.
Let me tell you guys, when you go to the Fed's gun range, and I have a bunch of friends who are either like military or federal law enforcement, FBI, whatever. And so they're all very excited when they learn that I know how to shoot a gun. And then they're all very enthusiastic to take me to the gun range with them. And so we go to the gun range.
And depending on who they are, they actually want to see how good you are.
Yeah,
They're all competitive type A people.
And so we always show up to whatever gun range it is they go to. And then it's me, the only girl there. And everybody, it's like one of those things where it's like you walk in and then everybody just like follows you with their eyes the whole time.
Everything kind of gets quiet.
What's going on? And then they either are like, oh, what, like, and then I go in there and I know what I'm doing because
you're good. You shoot very well. I mean, I should be scared, but I keep you happy.
I promise I'm not going to shoot you.
That's what anyone would say who later is going to shoot at me.
Oh, no. But yeah, so like I am a very good shot.
Yes, you are.
You just
I've
made a little
you.
shrug like me.
I've seen you. Yes, there's no. I'm thinking of a euphemistic way to describe it. That's just true. I can't bust on you for that because it's true.
So I will go in with these guys and it's like all these whatever FBI guys or DEA guys or Marines. And then it's like I'm like hit in the middle of all their targets. And then by the end, they're all trying to recruit me to join the club because they're like, we really need more women in here. It'd be great. Have you thought about like joining like a competitive team, Jen? They all like... all the guys love me by the end of the time. I have like a full suite of admirers by the end.
That's pretty cool.
Mike and I went shooting, I mean, a bunch of times. And it was like an hour to get down to the club that he was part of. And he had this giant handgun.
50 cal?
Not a 50. Hang on a second.
The Desert Eagle?
All right. A 357 Magnum.
That's a cannon.
I'm like,
I only know it from the movies Dirty Harry.
This thing is giant.
It's giant.
And he's like, ka-chunk, like close this thing up. He's like, here you go. And I was like, okay. I mean, I normally shoot a 9mm when I'm like target shooting at the range, right? And it's like I've got like my hand like around the thing. He's like, watch for the kickback on that gun. And I'm like, okay. So like fire off a round, and this gun just like
flies
my arm
away.
flies up to the ceiling. I was trying to be prepared for it. No, I hit the bullseye with it.
You did not.
I mean, it's like the problems after the bullet comes out that it's hard. It's just you point and shoot it the rest of the time.
I mean, the barrel's so long it was probably like an inch from the target from where you were standing.
That was a big gun.
A big cannon.
Oh my god. Yeah, anyway, we had fun times.
Didn't you also do like a virtual shooting range up in Aberdeen?
We've talked about though where I got tased.
It was like zapped.
No.
Oh, you actually also, but didn't you have a belt on that tased you?
The belt had 2 tasers in it, and then if you got shot in the simulation, the tasers tased you.
Actually tased you.
I've been tased, bro. It fucking hurt.
Yeah,
I had little welts on my tum.
And yet you shot well.
Yeah, it was my fucking partner who like clearly had never even held a gun before, was like not covering my 3.
Yeah, there's partners are always a problem. When I was in the German Army eons ago for my year of service, we would do maneuvers and we'd have, like just basically like, what are they? I mean, there weren't bullets in the gun. They were basically
Blanks?
refurbished to have blanks,
Yeah.
right? They would shoot blanks. But I got so ticked at someone too that I was like shooting at them with blanks. It was not very professional. we were all kids.
Oh my god. Nothing
happened. I mean, obviously they were blanks. I was really ticked at someone. So anyway, I'm glad I wasn't with the partner who was letting me get tased, because I might have aimed at her.
Right, like that's the thing. Like, I'm gonna get tased if you're dumb at this.
Oh, did I tell you the one time, or one of the few times I went paintballing? We did like a paintballing thing when I was a lawyer at a big law firm in DC, and like 5 guys from our department went, and they were all like showing up with camo and stuff acting all tough. And the first round, the senior partner from my office, I had taken position a little ahead of the line, was just shooting me in the back repeatedly. He had no idea what he was shooting at. He thought I was a bad guy and was just blasting. I was so pissed. Like, he must have shot me 10 times in the back because I was on his team. Of course I wasn't worried about him. Ron. And he's like, I'm kidding. It's like, you freaking, I think he was a tax lawyer. I don't know.
Ron.
There's one on every team. It's like, fucking Ron, stop shooting me in the back. And then the ref was like, you're dead. Sorry. I was like, this is so unfair. He's like, you just got friendly fired, you know. You're out for this round. I was like, this is bullshit. Anyway, yeah, partners, man. Can't rely on anyone.
Oh, God. I mean, this was like the Army thing that I did was like researchers, right? So, I mean, I don't know about the people who are working at the Army Research Lab who built the thing, but I was just put in there with like random other like visitor lady who is a scientist who clearly did not have any military or weapons training. And so they just handed
That's what
her.
It's really intended to like impress people, like how hard it is.
The simulation is built for guys in the infantry to train them, but you want it. What they found is that like if you're training on like a video game, they want to measure the physiological response of the stress to being in those situations, so they can create a very immersive environment, but you're not worried about getting shot in a video game.
Right.
Even if there's like consequences. But if you get tased when you get shot, you do have a physiological like stress response.
You really don't want to get shot.
So that's why they built it. They offered us
Worked
the option.
for you.
They offered us the option to not wear the taser. Like you could just go into the simulation and you don't actually have to get tased. You could just try it out. And I was like, put the taser on. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think my partner had the taser on.
Was she shooting you though?
No. There's
honestly, you should have checked.
I don't think that matters. It's if the simulation guys shoot you. There were like a bunch of bad guys jumping out from.
She wasn't just standing in 90 degrees and just blasting at you.
She wasn't even. She didn't even raise her gun up. Like I've got like a rifle on my shoulder. Like, no.
You're doing all you can.
I'm doing everything I can.
Helping.
I got 360 degrees to monitor.
Yeah,
and she's not even looking down like the hallway right in front of her. So I've just got to like take care of everything. Just not what it's meant for.
Which may not be possible in that simulation. Yes.
Welts on my tum.
Yeah, I had welts on my back from this. Paintballs hurt.
All right, you got paintballed. I got tased.
There we go.
Same thing.
Anyway, we'd both do better than the FBI agents on Geiger.
I mean, they didn't shoot anybody, so that's good. They did. I mean, they were no cooler than either of us.
They had tanks. They brought tanks. And all the articles, and you may have an update on this, but all the articles I've seen are like, they completely skip over why they were actually there and what actually happened and how bad the people were. Was it just like...
Here's what I've got. I've got a quote from Dwayne, 41, who lives across the canal from the home.
Yeah.
And Dwayne says, there were often a lot of people hanging out on the property. Quote, I've always jokingly made some comments that they were trafficking Cubans in, but was never really worried about it, or I would have said something, being I have a young daughter at home. They mainly just fished, worked out, listened to music, and rode their jet skis. Seems like they had a good time when I'd see them hanging out. So maybe like helping bring in Cubans. Which is like good for fucking them.
I was gonna say it doesn't sound quite as bad as like human trafficking. If you're like helping Cubans escape a shitty regime, that's a real gray zone.
Yeah.
I'm glad no one got shot. I'm glad it was a professionally conducted raid by the FBI. Good job, guys.
Yep. I was just going to see if there's an update on Florida Keys news, which is very good stuff. So there's like the top story is a picture of some deer. And then if you scroll down, there's like a weather thing and a Coast Guard thing, searching for a capsized boat. And then there's like some pictures of top stories. There's a lady riding her bike through the water. And then Nacho C. Fry.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Out. He's still up there.
He's extremely popular.
Oh.
Nacho C. Fry at our house. Florida Keys update newsletter.
All the way from Idaho to the Keys to paradise.
Yep.
Well, good job, Nacho.
Anyway, I don't see anything. There's a do not eat oyster advisory for Florida and New York and 11 others.
I think I'm safe.
There's a nurse shark wearing a jacket. A shark wearing what appears to be a shirt has been photographed in the waters off the Cayman Islands.
Wonder who was previously wearing that shirt. Wonder how the shark got the shirt.
Yeah, the shark got stuck in the thing, so a diver seems like they got it. And oh no, diver didn't have their scissors with them, so the poor shark has the shirt on. So they're looking for the shark.
Maybe the shark feels cool in the shirt.
I think the shark is like trapped. It looks like it's kind of pinching in there.
I don't know. He looks pretty okay. Looks kind of proud of himself there.
I think he looks hurt.
Yeah. It's hard to read sharks. They look cool.
You know what?
I'm also 14 feet away from the screen.
You can't see anything over there. There is a falling iguana watch for Miami for this weekend.
It's cold. It's going to be cold.
That big blob that's going to make all of you very cold is going to...
Same here.
I mean, you guys, the low overnight on Friday or Saturday this weekend is 58. 58!
There's going to be some ticked off iguanas.
Yeah. The iguanas don't fall out of the trees until it gets into the 40s, which it does not really do here in the Keys. So we're fine. But in Miami, which is 100 miles up, it may get that cold. And so watch out for falling iguanas.
I mean, it's not just little dog wear a sweater weather. It's little dog stays inside weather.
Man, I got to get the space heaters out. We're going to have 2 days. It can not even get out of the 60s.
You'll be breaking up the furniture to light a fire.
Oh, my God.
Things will be tough.
Oh, my God. No, I mean, it's going to be fine. But sorry, all the rest of you are going to be... There's some article, and it's like, this weekend, most of the country is going to experience one of the coldest days of their whole entire life.
Entire life?
Their whole entire life.
And you'd write that. You'd write that as a joke.
I mean, it maybe was just of their entire life or something, but it was basically your whole entire life, the coldest day of your whole entire life. Like in Billings, Montana, it's supposed to have a wind chill of -70.
Oof.
Oh my God! It's one of those days.
Like, what is this, Mars? I mean, that's ridiculous.
They're gonna show you all the map. Mark my words. Take a picture if you see it happen. On your nightly news, they're going to show you the map of the country with the temperatures, and they're going to be like, look at how cold the entire continental United States is. And then they're going to be like, except down here in Key West, Florida, where it's 75 degrees. And they're going to do a little zoop, point at that. And it's going to be all blue over the whole country. And then
orange.
The bottom of Florida is going to be yellow, green. And then Key West is going to be orange, red, 75.
The warmest city in the United States.
Yep.
Maybe. There's California too, though, isn't there?
It doesn't get... I mean, it gets cold in California.
Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, there's snow in Seattle, so you start with Seattle, and then you work your way across, and it just gets bad.
Mm-hmm.
Cyclone. Bomb cyclone.
The all-time record low ever in the history of record keeping for Key West, cold it's ever been, is 41.
Boo.
I know. I mean, that would be cold. We don't have heat, you guys, so that would be cold.
I mean, I'd have to get winter tires.
Yeah. All right. You have a German word of the week?
Sure. Are we already there?
Yeah. We've talked about nothing this week. We got nothing.
I love the excursions.
That's all we have is excursion.
It may be obvious. I got 2, and one goes into rambling dad corner.
Good. Hey, the rest of the podcast is yours.
Do you want a longer one or a shorter one?
Longer.
All right. Eiersortiermaschinen Eichungsverordnung.
Say it again since you didn't get it right the first time.
Eiersortiermaschinen Eichungsverordnung. So
some kind of regulation.
Yeah, I was reading Verordnung. You're right. Is a regulation. I was just reading on Instagram. I follow some German creators, and one of them's on a farm, and she says
egg.
Yeah, they have an egg.
Say the word again.
Eiersortiermaschine.
Egg sorting machine ordinance regulation.
Yes, except there's one other word in there. Eichen, which is a very specialized word.
Eichen.
Yeah, so they have Eiersortiermaschinen. Egg sorting machines that sort the eggs by size, which is a proxy for weight.
Uh-huh.
And once a year, you have to get that machine approved or formally
Calibrated?
Calibrated. Eichen is to calibrate, to make sure it's sorting correctly.
Egg
getting the
sorting
weight.
machine calibration regulation.
Yes, because that just changed, and now they say, well, you don't have to get it calibrated every year, but you have to weigh, occasionally you have to weigh eggs by hand to make sure that they're being correctly sorted by the sorting machine. And you have to get that machine calibrated every year. And you have to buy the machine for 120 euros or something. And it's like, that might make sense if you sort, 1 million eggs a day, you'll need to buy one scale. But also if you sort like 20 eggs a day, you need to buy that one scale. It's just small farms have a harder time with it. So the
Eiersortenmaschine Eichenverordnung.
Yeah, very close. Tiermaschinen-Eichungsverordnung. Eichung is to calibration. Is calibration. Eichung.
That's a hard word.
You have to eich a lot of things.
Eichungsverordnung.
Only in Germany. I mean, here nobody cares, right? Nothing's really precise.
I would like to introduce you to some friends at the FDA. There's a lot of rules. You just don't encounter them. Have you been to a farm other than like for a hayride?
Oh, on farms, maybe. Yeah. That's possible. That's true. Agriculture, perhaps.
Wait, you're talking about generally?
I'm sure Monsanto complies with a lot of NIST is voluntary. Isn't it? Compliance with, that's not a law. This is a law.
I'm pretty sure like there's rules.
Fair enough. But the words are longer in German.
I mean, absolutely no question.
Do you want the German? You want the shorter word?
Yeah.
It's a twofer, everyone. It's a twofer.
I mean, we don't have anything else. So.
Hold on to your hats and watch out for your butts.
Oh.
Leckerli.
Deliciously?
Yeah, that's what some people call little dog snacks or dog treats. If you give a dog a treat, you go, kann ein Leckerli haben? Willst du ein Leckerli?
Lecker is, you'd be like, oh my God, this cake is so lecker.
It's delicious or tasty or, yeah. So Leckerli. It's a little Leckerli.
It's in the Supergeil video. So we've talked about all right. If you're not if you haven't listened to the whole back catalog, we've done a long piece on the Supergeil video.
A lot of this is callbacks.
If you missed it, we're not going to talk about the whole thing now, but it's a German grocery store commercial. Just look up. It's like super, like the word super, and then Geil, Supergeil, and
I think it's Edeka, but I'm not sure.
There's one thing that's gonna come up. There's only one.
Yeah,
and it's this sort of like dude, maybe in his 60s, singing this song.
With a bass voice.
Yeah,
very deep.
So, Geil means good, but also horny.
It's originally meant horny, and now it's come to mean still horny on,
like kind of
on
cool.
paper.
It means like cool.
It means cool. Yeah, it means like super cool.
So if you go super geil, like it's like that, you'd say that like, oh, that's super cool, but it does also mean super horny.
Yeah, I mean it's slang-y, and I think part of the fun is it's a little subversive, but nobody would really be shocked if you said das aber geil.
Yeah, and so this grocery store commercial has this older guy. Who's like a very like, I am a sexy older guy.
He has
like,
that lounge lizard feel.
And there's like, there's all these different scenes. So there's like a couple on their couch like watching TV and like the lights dim and he's like, super cookies, super geil. Like super cookies, super cool, but also maybe super horny. And then he's like, es ist super geil, super geil. Okay, so how did I get on to this? Oh, so there's one of the things in there is that he's like just going through food. He's like at one point in a bathtub full of milk and pouring cereal on himself.
But he's also dancing through the aisles a lot, right?
Oh, yes. With like Rockette style other grocery store worker ladies. But there is a line where he says that something is super lecker. Super lecker?
Super lecker. Super geil.
Go watch it if you haven't seen it, you guys.
He has amazing confidence. He oozes self-confidence, which works.
Geil is also in the techno pop German hit of the summer, Lila.
There, it could be used literally. I'm not sure in what context.
The lyric of this song is a banger, you guys.
The lyrics are the meaning is terrible.
Ich habe ein Kusch, tusch, push,
Puff.
puff. Ich habe einen Puff. Und meine Puffmama heißt Laila. Sie ist schöne, junge Geila.
Geila, that's more horny.
Which is,
yeah,
I own
there
a
we
brothel. And
Yeah.
the Puff is brothel.
go. Mm-hmm.
Puffmama, the brothel mama, but it's more kind of like the head,
The best
featured prostitute. Featured prostitute.
Star
prostitute. Poof mama.
I don't know. I don't approve of this
Her
message.
name is Lila, and she is more beautiful, younger, and Gaila, so either cooler or hornier. They don't actually like enter into a transaction with the prostitute. They just admire how beautiful Lila is in the song. It is a banger of a song,
bad. This is like Mallorca and Ballermann Reisen.
though. It is a great song.
It's a bad import. It's a bad export.
There's like
it's a bad
really-
export.
There's a good like techno remix of it on YouTube, and it like the video. There's not like a video. It's just like a still of like some like car driving through the street. Looks like from GTA or something. But the remix is excellent.
We are the country that wrote "Ode to Joy" and brought that to the world, and now we have Lila.
La 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 la.
I am not proud. I am not.
Die wunderschöne Laila.
I don't think it's
Sie
good.
ist schöne, junge Geila. God, is it a good song?
Man, you're gonna enjoy going back to the Oktoberfest because all
They're
the
gonna
songs
play
will
that
be
song
like.
at Oktoberfest, and I am
yes.
gonna dance my butt off to
And
that
then they
song.
play Country Road by John Denver. Every German knows that song, and
Don't
then
care.
they cry afterwards.
I want this song. I love this song. It like brings me back. It is such like a late 90s techno party song. Like I had instant college flashbacks the moment this song started, and I was like, I love this song so much. I am not going to translate the lyrics because it's going to ruin it for me, which it kind of does, but it's still a banger. Banger. that
Yes,
song.
it's the song of the summer, or before, yes, the World Cup.
You guys
yes.
now have two assignments. One, Supergeil. Two,
Super guy.
Lila. I will try to
Yeah.
remember to put them in the show notes or like link them on Twitter when I tweet the episode.
And Beethoven's Ode to Joy, but only the Herbert Karajan version.
I'm sure that's on YouTube also.
Well, I'm also don't know if there's a Karajan version. He's
We'll
not,
find you a good
He's not
one.
a choir director.
We'll find you a good one. All right. You said that this was going to take you into German or into Ingo Corner.
We got some. I mean, we got a lot of Christmas cards, and I'm very pleased about this. And I
This
think
is
it's
what
very nice.
Administrative Corner was for.
Everyone, this is a callback to Administrative Corner. However, it is not a repeat of Administrative Corner. I just think there's a German word called Fremdschämen, where you're embarrassed for someone else.
Like, oh my God, I can't believe Ingo just said that to that person. I am so embarrassed on his behalf.
Yeah.
Fremdschämen.
It's a little bit like
a good word.
You're cringing at someone else doing something completely embarrassing or terrible. Or,
Exactly,
You know, so that's Fremdschämen. I wish that maybe there should be a German word that is sort of the opposite, where you're like proud of someone even though you didn't contribute to their success or anything like that.
yeah.
Like we got a letter from someone, a Christmas card from someone she was working the picket line at UC Irvine
Yeah.
on behalf of graduate students, and I think junior faculty. I mean, there's some bargaining unit that's a an academic subset there, but and she was out there for weeks, like picketing on
They're
behalf,
fighting.
trying to get a contract and
Solidarity.
stuff. And I'm just like, I have this feeling like the kids are going to have to save us, and she's doing a great job, and I feel like I'm weirdly proud of what she's doing, but I did not contribute. I did not help, so I don't know if I can be proud of that, but I'm very impressed.
The pictures of the dogs helped lift the picketers' spirits.
Yes, and she has a dog, and there's dog related content that underpins all of this. But it's just nice to hear all the great things people are doing, that intersect with our Venn diagram of the golden ratio.
Yep.
So it's very nice. So I feel like there should be something besides Fremdschämen. Of course, there's negative German words, but there should be a positive
Like
German word like
Fremdfreude.
Fremdfreude. Someone was trying to make that happen, and that's not a word.
Wasn't that Freudenfreude?
Freudenfreude, yes. Joy at other people's joy.
Fremdfreude? Joy at your friends?
It was supposed to be the opposite of Schadenfreude, I guess, right?
Oh,
you're,
yeah.
you're taking joy in someone's misfortune. You should take joy in someone's
What's the
fortune.
German word for pride?
Stolz.
So Fremdstolz?
Fremdenstolz, but it's not actually. I mean, Germans don't
We
have.
can make up a word.
Not for good things. Germans don't really do things for
We can do
Good.
it anyway.
Yeah, it would be like Fremdenstolz, but it doesn't. It's the same thing as saying, you're proud of someone when you don't. Pride doesn't really. I just applaud what everyone's doing. Good job, everyone.
Good job, everybody.
Keep doing good things. It will make things better.
That's great. That's a great message.
Yeah.
So we're recording on Tuesday, December 20th, because tomorrow, Wednesday, our normal recording day, we have a bazillion things to do, including packing up Ingo to go to Germany for the entirety of the rest of the holiday season.
I'm packing up bags. I'm not going to get packed anywhere else.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
But you're leaving for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm missing hopefully most of the blizzards later.
So we're going to be, I am going to try to make it happen that we do a drunk Ingo from Germany short pod.
Odds are good that if you can reach me that I will have had alcohol.
Yeah, the drunk part's not the hard part. It's the getting a hold of part.
Yeah, it's true.
We'll see. Worst case, like just when you call to check in, I'm going to be like, hey, Ingo, I'm going to put you on speaker and record this. And you'll be like, okay, it's fine.
Don't fall asleep for at least 5 more minutes. Okay. And then 3 minutes later, I'll be like, Gleh.
It has happened that Ingo has called me from Germany, and I'm like, Ingo, how's it going?
All happy and animated.
And Ingo's like, oh, it's great. Like, we just did this. And I'm like, where are you, Ingo? And he's like, I'm in bed. And I was like, oh, that's great. And then I'll be like telling him the story. Yeah, like Hopper did this and then did this. And then there's just nothing. And then, like, if I'm real quiet, I hear him breathing. And I was like, oh, he fell asleep. With the phone next to him in the bed.
Yeah, well, I'm not proud of this. It has happened. I'm sure it didn't happen recently. It probably did. But I haven't been over there for a while, so that's my only hope there.
It will not be a long podcast because you got family stuff to do, but I will try to get at least like bits of Ingo.
Yeah, I just can't contribute to, Dog Corner very much because I won't have seen what these guys are doing.
Yep. And then we're going to overlap for like 12 hours between when you get back and when I go up to Orlando to run some races. So
Disney races.
Yep. So we should be able to get in a podcast like the evening of the January 3rd.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah.
Oh, so, I can't even make my...
Don't do the dad joke next year. Don't.
I can't even make my jokes about, all that stuff. I mean, I just did, but I haven't maximized it yet.
It hurts me so much. It hurts me so much.
I got to prepare some better jokes about
All right. So anyway, there'll probably be a short podcast next week. Unless, maybe tomorrow night, like we get all of our shit done and then we're just like, we're going to do like a no rules and get it in the can for next week. And
this is kind of close.
But I have no rules content prepared that we could do.
Oh.
I have like stuff to talk about.
Well, I'm in.
All right, so we'll see how it goes tomorrow. But anyway, okay. Happy Hanukkah to those of you who are in the midst of celebrating. I made sufganiyot. For my very first time ever making donuts, I was like, I'm going to make sufganiyot for the first day of Hanukkah, which was this weekend. And I was like, I'm fucking doing it. And I like bought all the stuff and I followed the recipe. I even got like a thermometer to make my oil, and they were delish. They turned out perfect. They were delish.
I think I've had a dozen in the last 12 hours.
You literally ate like 7 donuts on that day. Now you also ran 20 miles.
I learned that they're just jelly donuts.
A sufganiyot is the same thing as a Berliner,
yeah.
Or if you are like me and grew up in certain corners of the Midwest and a few other places, they were called Bismarcks.
Yeah, they're not like Dunkin' Donut jelly donuts. These are like
no.
Yeah, they have
filled. Pfannkuchen? Same.
No, Pfannkuchen is pancake.
Oh. Yes. No. Yes. Exactly. There are sections of Germany where these donuts are called Pfannkuchen, and then they're like, it literally means pancake because, Ingo, as we have discussed, like the origin of the Sufganiyot / Berliner was in the German military. There was a cook in the German military who'd make them in a pan over the fire in the field.
World War I, I think, right? 1916?
Maybe a little before that. But anyway, yeah. And so they were called pancakes, but it's only like certain parts of Germany, and those parts of Germany they have a different word for like pancakes, like an actual flapjacky pancake. But then there's other parts of Germany where Pfannkuchen means like a regular pancake, and then they call these Sufganiyot something else.
Krabbel.
Yes, that's another word.
Kreppel.
There's like 5 different German words for this kind of donut.
Why would you call him Berliner if you can call him Kreppel?
Because the military guy was from Berlin.
Oh, look at that.
And that's
It's all
why they
coming
called him
together.
that. I read the whole fucking
This
thing
is
on
what
the history.
Kennedy said he was.
Yes, that's
he didn't
in
say
every one
I'm
of
a
these.
Sufganiot. He said I'm a Berliner.
And he didn't mean that either.
Oh, he meant he was from Berlin. Never mind.
Everyone there knew what he meant also.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah. But yes.
I forgot that was the joke that he called himself a jelly donut.
I read all about this because when we went to Germany, we went into a German bakery at one point and they had Berliners and I was like, I want one of those. Like, I've heard of these things.
Yeah.
I want one. It was delish. And then because I am like practically Jewish at this point from
by osmosis.
because like since I went away to college, like everybody I hang out with is Jewish. Like guys I dated, I'd only dated Jewish guys randomly for a while. Like it wasn't intentional, it just happened that way.
Yeah, I'm not qualified, but still.
You are not. But there were a lot of them, and so I went to a lot of Hanukkah celebrations and had sufganiyot, which is the Hebrew
tasty donuts.
word. And I was like, so I've had a Berliner, I've had a sufganiyot, and I grew up with Bismarcks. Like I remember having those when I was a little kid. And they all kind of seemed like the same thing. And I was like, I wonder what the difference is. And I like literally Googled like, what is the difference between a Berliner and a Sufganiyot? And then I got this whole history page that like, oh, they're the same thing. And here's where they're from. And here's how this worked and all this happened. So
the name. The only thing is the name.
People call them different things, but it's all the same yeast that you fry and you squirt some jelly in the middle and put powdered sugar on the top. And they were so tasty. And I'm very proud of myself.
They were real good. Should be on the permanent rotation.
Yeah. I'm gonna like.
I can't believe you're brave enough to like essentially deep fry things in a pan over the stove. I just think that's amazing. I can't. You're supposed to have a fryer.
And there's yeast in them, and like I am not great with yeasted things.
Yeah, I had to get my mitts off the yeast. You were trying to get it to rise, and I was like stumbling around.
And I was like, get away from my
lurching
dough.
at the
It's
yeast.
rising right now. Anyway. Happy Hanukkah to everybody who is Hanukkahing right now. I hope you are having some delicious latkes and maybe sufganyots. And Merry Christmas to everybody who's doing it. Happy solstice if you are one of those people. I like the solstice a lot. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
So
you can do both. You can do everything.
You can do all. Look, I was raised Catholic and I have a fucking menorah and I love Hanukkah and it is great. And I celebrate it. And
yeah,
I'm told by my Jewish friends that it's fine and I'm welcome to do so. So
there you go.
Do it with happiness.
There you go. As long as you're there with joy, I think everyone wants more joy.
Yep. All right.
So
we should stop podcasting.
Joy now. To everyone listening.
Yep.
More joy.
And Slava Ukraini. And don't bet anyone unless they ask you to.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.